Good morning and welcome back to the channel. It's Richard from Power Lines to Power Naps. I'm going to share a few facts with you today, and facts from how I see things, having lived here in Thailand now for about 19 months. Purely my opinion, other people will have different views. I can only speak from my opinion. So today, 5 things I like about living in Thailand, 5 things I don't like about living here in Thailand. Let's get on with it. Hi, I'm Richard. Welcome to my channel, From Power Lines to Power Naps. This is my wife, Nui, and together we both left the UK in February 2022 to start and enjoy a new life and new adventures in Phuket, Thailand. Join us on our new journey together and experiences. Sit back and enjoy. Okay, I'm going to start with the 5 things that, in my opinion, I like about in Thailand, living in Thailand. I'm going to whisk through them the best I can. I can tell tales and stories about every individual one of my choices. Anybody wants to ask me questions about any of my choices or would like to hear stories which are related to any of my choices, get it in the comments box, ask me a question, ask for any stories. Subscriptions going up slightly, so again, the few new ones that have joined, thank you and welcome to the channel. It means a lot. Sit back and enjoy. 5 things first I like. Number 1, for me, for the background of outdoor power line work in England, 40 years, 40 winters, all good, loved it, great career, wouldn't change 1 minute. But for me, number 1 about Thailand is the weather. What's not to like about the weather? It's always warm or hot. Sometimes a bit wet, but you know, warm water falls out of these skies. So for me, in my old bones, the weather, climate, it's tropical. It can take quite a while to adapt to the heat. It's not for everybody. Certain times of the year it would be way too hot for a lot of people. Some people love it. It's whatever floats your boat, and I don't mean the Andaman Sea. But for me, the weather is just amazing. Some nights we have the aircon on, maybe a bit too much, and I wake up, a bit cold. Well, I know, the minute I step out of that bedroom door, the heat is there, and I love the heat. I've always loved the heat. Don't think I'd ever dreamt that one day I would be living in a tropical climate, but for me, the weather is amazing. The sunshine, it's just great. It's got to be a number 1 for me. The weather. Number 2, jumping straight in for me. Having lived here 19 months now, it didn't take long for me to realise there's a lot of very nice and friendly people around here where we live. You get to know them easy, they get to know you easy. And I'm sure that's for anywhere, any part of Thailand, but I can only speak for where I live here in Caron Beach, Phuket. Very friendly, very noisy vehicles, but people become to, good morning, very quickly show their like and respect for you. I was a bit uneasy when I first came here because a lot of the locals and the neighbours and people were coming past and saying, "Good morning, Papa. Good morning, Papa." And I'm thinking, what the? Papa? I'm not that old. What's with all this Papa? And it didn't sit well with me to start with, but it did. In actual fact, it turns out that Papa is a term of endearment, a slight sign of respect for elders. So now everyone calls me Papa. I'm happy with it. I respond to it. So number 2 for me is the way in which in 19 months, 19 short months, I feel that I've been accepted by the community in which we live. Great feeling. It might say alien on all my visa paperwork, but trust me, I don't feel like an alien. So number 2 for me is the way that I've been accepted within the local community. And if I'm missing for any reason, if I have to nip to Bangkok for anything or go anywhere for a day or 2 days, and I come back and Nui says, everybody's been saying, "Where's Papa? Where's Papa?" So, Papa's here. Number 3. Well, again, it's a no-brainer. Thai food. The food here in Thailand is, well, everywhere for a start. It's everywhere. Everything is cooked fresh, whether that be a restaurant or street food or a little Thai noodle bar. Good, tasty, fresh food is available here in Thailand pretty much around the clock. I will just spin the camera just to show you, even now on a Monday morning we have fresh food chicken stalls. Just across there in the distance by the temple, you can see 2 or 3 food carts there. They're selling every day. And what's more, they're there about 5 o'clock every morning. So the food is healthy, fresh, unbelievably tasty, and some of the tastier food is off the street, and great prices too. So food's got to be in my top 5, and it's number 3. Number 4. The Thai people's attitude towards life. Over in the West, many people get stressed out about money, bills, work. Thailand, I'm sure they do stress. I know Nui stresses within a business, anybody in business, a little bit of stress. But the Thai general philosophy and thought on life is pretty laid back. As they say here, sabai sabai. In other words, take a chill pill. They don't worry about tomorrow or next week. They plan and think for today, concentrate on today. They say, we may not be here tomorrow, we may not be here next week. They have a very laid back attitude and look on life. In my opinion, sometimes it's a bit frustrating, you think a bit too laid back, but I like that laid back attitude. They don't fear death. Someone dies, a local dies, the funeral is just a massive celebration of life. They've got the minds in a different place than most Western countries' people. And because they're so relaxed, then the atmosphere is relaxed, the lifestyle is relaxed, and it's a good feel. So number 4 was Thai's attitude to life. Number 5, my number 5. I stuck at 5, but when it comes to likes, I could have done 20 or 30. I like it. I stuck at 5. My number 5 is, I could have moved out here, sat on my big fat horse, drinking beer, eating chips. Great for a week or two, holiday, fine. And you live here. I wanted to do more than that. As many of you do know, I was lucky enough to become a Thai tourist police volunteer. I also registered, and I'm still on the list, as a volunteer at immigration. For me, good morning. For me, living here in this great kingdom, I wanted to give something back. A lot of the Thai beliefs, the Buddhist beliefs even, is all about giving things back. So I wanted to give something back to the community, and it was a long old haul. I thought the trail had even gone cold. Many trips to the police station, many forms to fill in, long waiting. But anyway, I was lucky enough to be accepted. And to me, my number 5 is, I love that, because why do I love it? I'm now a member of a great working team. Both the Thai officers, Thai tourist police officers that we work with, and the Western volunteer officers. Team spirit, team community. I feel part of the community more. So that's good for me. But I think above all else is the satisfaction that I get in helping people that have a problem on Bangla Road. Problems of all natures, all levels of seriousness. But 98% of them are helped and resolved, and nearly always results in a huge thank you. Not just to me, but to all the team. So great satisfaction in helping. So for me, my number 5 of like is feeling more part of the community and giving something back that I can do to help others and get thanks for it. That's my 5 likes. Let's move on to my 5 dislikes. Okay, on to my 5 dislikes about living in Thailand. I found this more difficult to find 5 things because I like living in Thailand and there's many good things. But I picked 5. Number 1, road safety. Here in Thailand, the roads can be pretty dangerous. Here on Phuket especially. I don't want to scare anybody. There's plenty of good safe taxi drivers, and if you've got bike experience, fine, come and hire one. I've said before, but you have to be careful. I think Thailand shares number 2 country for the highest road deaths in the world. I think South Africa is number 1. Here on Phuket, a relatively smallish island, sadly has the highest road deaths of Thailand, which is a scary thought. I think I read on the news the other day that this year, from January to date, I think there's been over 109 road deaths. When you look at some of the driving skills, if I can call them skills, it doesn't surprise me that there's so many accidents. They do have a campaign and tighten up occasionally, and they are slowly improving on the enforcement of helmet wearing on bikes. But for me, I think one of the problem lies with some of the bike rental companies. Yes, they're here to earn a living. so they're going to earn a living, and they rent out bikes, all new, good quality, good service, great. I'm not sure they're quite strict enough when they rent them or hire them to people in checking that they've got bike experience, or more importantly, even a bike category on their driving license of country of origin. Because if that category is not on your license, you ain't insured. And with the health service being extremely good but private, you end up paying for the ambulance, pay for the medical care. Bad accident can be extremely expensive. So I think they should be a bit tighter on making checks when it comes to renting bikes, especially motorbikes here in Thailand. So road safety is number one dislike. You've got to be careful, very careful. Number two, again purely my opinion, all these are my opinion, the weed scene. Okay, back in June 22-ish, the Thai government announced that it was thinking of relaxing the laws on marijuana use. A big surprise for the world, I would think, that coming from Thailand, which prior to that the use of marijuana carried quite a serious sentence. So with that announcement, it just exploded. There was weed shops opening everywhere. There's certain restrictions. You can't smoke it in public or in public places, not on the street, not on the beach, only at home or in the places that you bought it from, if they're licensed to consume it on the premises. But as I sit here now, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7 that I can see from here. And in Karon and Qatar alone, just a small area, I believe there's over 70 weed shops. Okay, I may be biased, I don't do weed. I've tried it twice in 65 years. Made me feel like shite both times, so for me, it's a no. It's just my gut feeling and my opinion. I think that for Thailand that was a wrong decision. Whether it'll continue or be changed or tightened, time will tell. But for me, I think it was a wrong decision. We'd see. Number 3 is a subject I could talk about and tell tales and stories, and horror stories for weeks. Many single male Westerners, when they start travelling to Thailand, maybe lonely in their own countries, and they come over here looking for love. It's a land of smiles. All the bars have pretty girls. All want a rich Falang foreign husband. I'm not going to knock what they do. They do what they do for the reason they do it, and generally it's to support their families back home. But when you get to live here and you get to know the scene, and there's a lot of pitfalls. A lot of Westerners come here, fall in love with a girl that works in a bar. She loves him, she looks after him, she pampers him, she makes him a happy man at a price. Many come unstuck and end up losing sometimes everything. Fortune. There's a lot of predators out there. For me, living here, when you know the full score, again, for me it's a little part of Thailand that I don't really like. You have to accept it because we live here, but I see people coming here weekly, if not daily. Within 5 minutes of talking to them, I think you're a statistic about to happen. Be careful, a lot come unstuck. Many tales about this. you want to know more, leave a comment, ask me. If you watch other YouTube channels, I don't normally advertise, but there's a very nice guy with a YouTube channel with countless stories about the downfalls of Western men in the Thai bar girl scene. Check him out, he's a nice guy. His YouTube is called Thai Talk with Dan. He's lived here many years, and he gets a lot of stories come in from people telling them what's happened to them. Most of them end up bad. So that had to go into my dislikes. Many of these girls have taken some of these Westerners on a bigger ride than Trigger ever took Roy Rogers. Trust me. Moving on. Number 4. Simple, short and sweet. The bloody water supply, the mains water supply, is abysmal. Okay, we run business here, and we need a lot of water. For many weeks or months, not a drip comes through the meter, nothing. It's a big island, there's supposedly desalination plants dotted about. I think we've got 3 major big reservoirs, which again on the news just lately tell me that they're 80 to 90% full. Most of the week, what comes out of the pipe through the mains, bugger all. Standards of service, you can't complain. It's no good ringing the water board, giving them a blast, accusing them of standards of service not being high enough like you can in the UK and many other parts of Europe. Nah, it falls on deaf ears. You get water when you're lucky enough to get some. So the water supply had to go in as a dislike. And finally, my number 5. Again, really winds me up. Some of the big stores that you do the shopping, DIY, we've got Global House and Home Pro, and many big ones, just like your B&Q, and pretty much identical. They always seem to be overstaffed. They employ so many staff. They obviously can't pay a lot of wages, but masses and masses of staff. And you walk around looking for what you want, can't spot what you want, and you go to a member of staff that sits there filing the nails and ask for something fairly simple, which you know they should have, and they look at you and they say, no have, or finished, and carry on filing the nails. Frustrating. On the other side of the coin, there's then many staff, and if you're shopping with a trolley and you're looking for many things, working off a list, you'll be followed and hounded by some of the staff. What do you want? Oh, I'm just looking for towels or bedding. Before you know it, your trolley's full of towels and bedding. Not the colours and designs that you necessarily want. I think they're on commission. And they're like hunting packs. You can't shop in peace. You feel like saying, just bugger off and let me have a look round until I find what I want. So they're either not interested, can't be asked to go and have a look in the back to see if they've got what you want. No harm. Finished. Or they hunt you down in the aisles in packs, trying to fill your trolley up with stuff that you don't necessarily want. But then they follow you to the till, and when you've gone through the checkout and paid, they get a little ticket. So for me, they're obviously on commission. So some of the staff in some of the stores, frustrating. We've got some little smaller stores called Super Cheap everywhere. Very good, have all sorts of useful stuff and food and everything. For me, should be re-logoed, should be renamed, should be called Super Slow. Some of the stuff in Super Cheap, wow, they wouldn't survive as a checkout in Aldi back in England. But hey, just my opinions again. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, All purely my opinions. You won't necessarily agree with any of them or all of them. If you want more specific stories or questions about any of my top 5s, do's and don'ts, likes and nots, put it in the comments, ask me a question. Don't forget Thai Talk with Dan. Check in with him and his stories. Very entertaining, very educational. Some sadly very true. Some of the pitfalls. Thank you for the new subscribers. Please keep it going. Please subscribe if you've not already done so. I want to grow this channel. I want to get the numbers up to my next target of 500. I'm going to leave that one for there. Until the next time, thank you. Take care. Bye for now.